We are live. Welcome back. This is a paramilitary episode. Um, Oktane Minutes podcast. And this is fresh off. I'm going to be touching on a little bit on Tom Segura's Netflix series, which is, I wouldn't say unfunny, but very odd and peculiar with the sense of humor that he has, called Bad Thoughts. It was not laugh out loud funny, I'll just say that outright, but the guy's got a screwed up sense of humor. He's very juvenile. Tom Segura, I mean, I'm pretty sure he actually does have some good stand up. It's just this this show is like that he came up with 6 episodes on Netflix, and it's just, he wanted to shoot these short films of just, and it's really his bad thoughts. Like, this dude literally monetized his intrusive thoughts, and it's like, jeez, the fuck. And I'll go through a couple of them. I first heard of, well, actually, you know what? Before I go into that, I'm gonna say this. I don't understand at all. I mean, I do, but I don't understand the hate for pro wrestling. The hate for pro wrestling, especially when you're in the entertainment industry. If you tell jokes professionally, or if you shimmy around naked professionally on a pole, or if you do television for wrestling is like a form of entertainment, but for some reason it's treated like bottom of the barrel, bottom rung, ugly ass, fat ass, redheaded stepchild. And I don't know, I just don't get it. I mean, I can see if you say, oh yeah, it's just something I just don't watch, I don't follow. But to flat out think it's dumb, like, I mean, yeah, there's some dumb stuff in wrestling. I can see if you hate wrestling if you spent time in the business. I've spent 20 years in business of wrestling. I think that me, who was even still now an active wrestler, if you want to book me, you can hit me up in my DM. Can say that after 20 years of dealing with the BS in the business, can say that I hate the business, right? I don't, by the way, but I'm just saying that I've warranted the right because I've lived, I've spent a lifetime in it and around it. But you have these guys that never set foot in a ring, never really had, it's the same. It's crowd control. It's vaudeville. There's a sporting element to it. But Tom Segura, I always thought it was kind of like some good poetic justice that on his little weak ass podcast, I guess it's called Your Mom's House or whatever, him and his wife kind of make fun of pro wrestling, and it's whatever. But then I guess he has to go on Netflix because Raw's on Netflix, and he has to go and promote this weird, intrusive thought show on a wrestling show, because Raw is probably, Monday Night Raw is hotter. It's going to be always hotter than Bad Thoughts. Let's just keep it real. A guy who has no athleticism whatsoever. I mean, I understand you hang out with Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan does jiu-jitsu and taekwondo. Joe Rogan is also 5'6" and 160 pounds. Joe Rogan is one of those guys, like, I don't care how skilled you are, there's some guys in WWE you probably can't ever beat in a fight, even if those guys didn't have skill. And those guys get paid enough money to where they can learn a martial art and be very formidable that aside, we'll just go over bad thoughts. Not even really a criticism of Tom Segura. I just thought that was an interesting thing, that you have these people who will hate the business that they have no interest in. You can't hate something you don't have an interest in, or pretend that you watch. You know, you don't have the right. I can't say I hate a certain thing. Like, I don't watch NFL football. It's just because it's not appealing to me, and I don't have the attention span to sit and watch after every play there is a commercial for some type of Mutual of Omaha, Ford trucks, toothpaste, condoms, Oscar Mayer wieners. Pause. It's just shit upon shit upon shit upon shit. And then there's like 2 yards gained. Bro, I don't have time for that. I don't. And I'm not paying $99 a month for an NFL premium package. I love boxing, you know, because at least you'll have a little cryon that has some commercial stuff. And you get to have full nonstop action between rounds, you know. But a lot of the boxing that are the big money matches don't have commercials because you pay per view. The money was already paid up front for you to view it, so you pay to negate the commercials. Even though they put the commercials on the canvas. And WWE's done that too. Finally, you know. I always thought having a clean, clear ring other than outside the indies was a weird thing, especially when you're big corporate sponsors. You know, put them right in the ring, man. Make that money. On to bad thought. So the first one was that he was like a slick assassin, and he's in South America hunting a target, misses the target. Okay. Then it just goes downhill. Instead of just, if you're an assassin, wouldn't you just say, okay, well, I couldn't get him this way, I have to track him now and get him the manual way. There was also a good movie called The Killers that I probably review. I thought was really good, really serious. But this one, and then the guy poops himself, and then he has diarrhea, and then he just offers to blow his handler, give his handler a blowjob, and then everybody on top of the government, all the men at the table in the dark rooms, hears him talking about wanting to give his handler head, and he shit his drawers, and he tries to kill himself and kills a baby. That's it. That's like the longest short of the first film. The one that got me was a black and white film where he was in France and he was dealing with a little ogre on a lady's back, and we'll get to that. Film 2 was about, I want to say it was one about computers. And they're at this board meeting, and of course it's like Tom Segura is playing this. He's playing this internet guy, not a webmaster, but an IT guy, and he's using the virtual system, but he's also making sexual suggestive things to open up files and stuff, and he's doing little things with his hands and his mouth, and the one guy's looking. And instead of the one guy calls him out, and then it has something to do with cake. I don't know. It's just like, there was no really a lot of comedic, you know, because a lot of comedy has a lot of big, surprising, funny swerves to it, right? I might not even go long for this, but I'm trying to think. What else did they have a funny swerve on? Everything was just doo-doo and weenie jokes and some weird sex jokes. And there was one with the French lady, and she had a twin sister, and it was a parasitic twin on her back. And I guess this lady had an auxiliary vagina on her back, and he was supposed to have sex with the ogre, the deformed twin, that whatever. And yeah, I don't know what's going on in Tom Segura's head. I don't know, man. It's like, I knew it was funny, and I understood it, and I appreciated the humor, because you have all these comedians now that sit there and fight for the right for free speech, but I would probably go and, like, I mean, I understand the importance of free speech, but I think it's also more important to be clever comedically. You know? That shit was not clever. It was not, I don't know, there's nothing cerebrally funny about it. It just wasn't good. It was just gross dick and fart humor. You know, I mean, and I watched it twice. I went through it twice. Because the first time I fell asleep with it. And then I was just like, and you know what? I'm not even going to have a song about this shit. Because I'm not going to take the time to write. I'd rather do this with an action movie. But I'm trying to think what else. No, there's one with so the flip side. So a lot of these sketches have like two parts to it. So the part two to the office one with the guys doing a thing, he sees his cake. He didn't get no birthday cake. So he's looking at the guy, and then you see that the guy's running. This was actually a funny swerve, but not. He's running through a post-apocalyptic world. And, you're kind of wondering, like, what's going on. And then this guy who was making fun of him or getting on to him about making sexually suggested hand gestures. And really, I mean, that first part, the shit's just, these dudes are not, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's the Joe Rogan clique. Like, the comedians around Joe Rogan are just not clever guys, man. You want free speech, but really all it is, it's just dick fart jokes and jokes about black people. Because you think black people are sensitive. Because you go, and it's a whole world of these guys. They want to say the N-word, and they'll say, oh, well, black people get mad if we tell jokes about them. No, we don't get mad if you make jokes about us. Tell a good joke. A lot of comedians who want to make jokes about black people don't tell good jokes. You're not funny. Don Rickles made tons of black jokes. He was hilarious. Nick DiPaolo. Hilarious. Some of these new guys. What's that lady? Leonardo Joni. That's something deep seated, and you can tell. She's got a crowded audience, and they appreciate it because they have the same deep seated thing. And I say deep seated because they always say this. They say what? Oh, he has the balls to say he or she, them or they, and I'm not even a lefty like that. Those people have the balls and the guts to say that what we all been thinking. What we all been thinking. Really? I mean, at least be clever with your shit, man. But yeah, the alien, and then it was an alien wanting the dookie, and then it was this thing, and it's called F a Human, and the little boy takes a VR headset off. It was almost like, I don't think he was really even going for punchlines. I just think he was just letting his intrusive thoughts go into a stream of consciousness. There was some other stuff too that I probably would have went into, but I don't know. It probably wasn't worth getting into. Needless to say, I would say intrusive thoughts kind of sucked. And I'm a critic. I appreciated it. It just didn't, I don't know if it didn't really make me guffaw. It didn't make me bust out scream laugh. I don't, maybe it's me. I don't know. If anybody else saw Bad Thoughts, could you tell me if the comedy was sophisticated enough for you? I mean, but some people will say, like, because, like, I appreciate Dave Chappelle. Because Dave Chappelle will take you on these long rides and then kick you in the nuts with a surprise punchline. Or sometimes he'll kick you in the nuts with a punchline when you least expect it. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm the problem. I just didn't get it. I mean, I got it, but I didn't really gauge it to make me like piss my pants. I don't know. But I already got 15 minutes, and I just wanted to jump on here paramilitary style and give y'all some funk for a little bit. Audio version will probably have a beat to it, but I'm not making a song to it because I don't care. And I did give it a spin because I did see it on social media. But, I mean, I'm glad I saw it. Maybe I have to appreciate it a third time to watch it. I don't know. I probably won't. But shout out to the Saba Sun family. It is hot as shit in this room, and I am going to bed because it's 1 o'clock and I've got stuff to do. So I'm going to go back to watching the Sharp podcast because I'm not a fan of No Jumper. And Sharp was the only thing interesting on that show, or the only person that was interesting and dope on that show. So I will see you guys later, and I'm going back to watching Sharp. Peace.